Talk of the Town coming to you live, Las Vegas, from the Talk Show Live. That's right. From Las Vegas, Nevada, Sin City, a place where people come to get their fantasies fulfilled. That's right. This is where people come to get their fantasies fulfilled. Now, you live at the Talk Show, and I'm your host, Talk of the Town. And today's show is going to be about myths being debunked. That's right. That's what today's show is going to be about. But like we always like to start off on the Talk Show, we always start with the bullshit button. That's right. Warning, warning. Bullshit alert. That's right. That's right. Myths being debunked. This show gonna be about the Lone Ranger, Irish slaves, Black history being screwed up over the years. Man, we might get in a little bit about the N word. You know, not much about it, but yeah, that's what today's show gonna be about. But like we always like to start off on the Talk Show, we always start off with some good ass music, and we're gonna start off with some people from Chicago, baby. That's right, do or die, y'all, do or die.
725, the ride, the point is about the live hoe, 3 miles per hour. Like we running up on some ride though, never to deny though. Digitally fly low, introduce myself. A to the motherfucker came and to recognize that I lose myself, juice myself. As you take one.
Now we're gonna start this show off right away. I was having a little discussion at the job with one of my fellow employees. Hey, we good buddies at the job. We talk a lot of shit with each other, man, and you come up with a lot of material. And the first one we're going to debunk is Irish slaves. Like I said, one of my coworkers, we was talking about slavery and, different things we was talking about. And he brought up something to me. He said, the Irish were treated worse than black people in America as slaves. And I just couldn't understand where he actually came up with that. But Talk do a lot of research. When people bring things to me, I like to find out. I couldn't understand how an Irish person in America is having trouble when Irish people would have a privilege in America, especially during them times, and still do to this day. Now, I'm going to tell you where he came out, and this is where we're going to debunk this at. There was no Irish slaves over here in America, but in 1911, they had a bunch of Irish people over here. They worked in the coal mine, and they called themselves coal breakers. And what they did was took pictures of these people, big groups of people, there's a lot of them, they coal breakers. And what they did was they actually was getting paid to break down coal. That was their job. But they took pictures of that and they said, hey, just because they was dirty and that looked like they just came off the slave plantation, they just was coming out of the coal mines getting paid. So that's what they used. And a lot of white supremacists, they would use this and say, well, hey, we had white slaves back then. That's a bunch of bullshit. There were no Irish slaves. That's one myth we're going to debunk right there. That's right. We was the Cadillac of all slaves. Black people was the only slaves that would sing and dance while they was doing it. So we was the Cadillac of slaves.
They ain't tricking the feds or spitting gang with a chicken and bread, kicking them legs in the air like a player do. Then we little one a day or two. Afterwards, I'ma say your crew. Now that's a pimp type shit that be low in AK and do. Wearing gray and blue. If a hoe in the holiday, you will play it.
Black history has been being fucked over for years, man. But let's get to the Lone Ranger. I looked at the Lone Ranger. It's a lot about the Lone Ranger that caught my attention. I noticed that Johnny Depp played Tonto. I thought that maybe they should have got an Indian. There got to be some Indian that could have done that job, But I understand. You use Johnny Depp, publicity. You make more money with Johnny Depp, so that's understandable. But while I'm looking at the Johnny Depp situation playing Tonto, didn't know that the wool had been pulled clean over everybody's head. Nobody ever thought the Lone Ranger, y'all. That's right. Here's a myth that's going to be debunked. The Lone Ranger wasn't a white man riding around with a big white hat on his head. The real Lone Ranger is a black man. Hey, I know you like Renam, It's true. His name was Bass Reeves. And he was in the late 1800s to the early mid 1900s. The man went out and captured over 3,000 outlaws. He never came back without his man. And the first shootout that he got in, that was a life or death situation, was because the guy just said that, you know what? I don't respect a black badge. So he respected that black badge because Bass Reeves shot the shit out of him. That's right. The first person he had to shoot was over some racism. That's right. This man did not want to be locked up by a black man. That's right. Bass Reeves was in over like 20 battles over 20-something life or death battles where he came out on top. That's right. They had to get chicken and potato salad together for those over 20 people that Bass Reeves had to straighten out. Bass Reeves promised you one thing. When he coming after you, you're coming back with him dead or alive. I remember one guy, they had an outlaw. They had him. Now, this is a story. This is true. They say they had him at gunpoint. Told him to get off his horse. We got you. You's a dead man. And he told him, you know what? I'm bringing you back dead or alive. You're coming with me. And the guy couldn't believe it because he got his gun. He said, I can't believe this shit. Oh, you gonna talk shit to me? You know what? I'm gonna bust a cap in your ass. Before the guy can pull his trigger, Bass Reeves then shot the shit out of the man. And it's another story about the real Lone Ranger. You know, he went and got 3 brothers. He got 3 fools for the price of 1. You damn right. Bass Reeves went and got 3 motherfuckers. One brother caught Bass Reeves, or the Lone Ranger. He had him at gunpoint. He grabbed the man's gun, and his brother came and drawed on him. He shot the man's brother with his pistol. You know, Bass Reeves pulled his gun. He was the quickest draw in the West. Shot the shit out of the guy's brother. And they had one more brother. Remember I said he got 3 fools for the price of 1. The other brother, he had his gun out. Bass Reeves was a big man. Back in them days, the guys averaged about 5'7" or whatever. Bass Reeves was towering, 6'2", 6'3", big black man with a big handlebar mustache. That's right. He told him to put that goddamn gun down. And he went over there and took the man's gun from him and hit him upside his motherfucking head. That's right. Cracked his skull, killed him dead. That's right. Bass Reeves would bring you back dead or alive. He used to give away what you call it, silver dollars. That's right. He used to give away silver coins. Now the story that we see, the Lone Ranger that we see, the white Lone Ranger, he got these silver bullets and his horse and all this type of stuff. And speaking of horses, you remember when they say the British were coming? The British were coming. Did you know it was a black man that was riding alongside Paul Revere? That's right. It was a black man. See, I remember Paul Revere's name. They don't even got the black man's name, but it was a black man riding alongside of him. I wish somebody can maybe comment and tell me what that black man's name was. That's right, that's right. Well, we're going to get back. We got to get back to a little bit of music here, like on the talk show. We like to jam.
Wake up Saturday morning and I
got a little bit of DJ Quick for you.
I'm sick from all the shit that I drank. As soon as I felt it coming on, I should have quit. It's true that a drunk ain't shit. To the man of a buzz.
Hey, we going to say something about the N-word. You know, we saw Ice Cube straighten out Bill Maher and basically give him a black history lesson about the N-word. But I like Ice Cube's point of view. He is right that the word nigga, the black people, when it come out of a black man's mouth and he said, it seemed like it take the sting out of it. And we didn't took that word and it's like we didn't accepted it. But I'm not going to agree with Ice Cube on this point because it's not our word. Ice Cube say they made it up, but we took it, and now it's our word now. I don't want to take that word. I understand, but you got to look at Ice Cube's point of view. Ice Cube is right. You do hear this word all through our community. You hear the N-word all the time. But the problem is Ice Cube made a whole lot of money off the N-word. So I think he got a biased opinion, even though he's right. But I think he made so much money using the N-word, there's no kind of way that Ice Cube could turn back. So he got to say that, hey, this is our word, because you made millions and millions and millions of dollars, not just for saying the word nigga, but for defusing the word nigga. They took the word nigga and turned it into something that black people can say. Hey, that's great. I agree with Ice Cube. But like I said, I don't think that's our word. I don't want to take that word. It was made up. We didn't make up the word nigga. Nigga was made up by somebody that was doing wrong back in the days. That's what we're gonna say. We're not gonna name people, but you know what I'm talking about. Okay, now we're gonna get into we're gonna keep debunking history because Black history has been fucked over for years, and I think it's because of a lot of fear. A lot of people that's been running the world or the United States, they fear the plight of the black man. I think it's because of the history that we have with white America. I think they fear like retribution from black people and all that, but I don't think it's no retribution that we got to be fearing. I think that all black people really want is to get along. We know that God made man. It don't say nothing about God made nigga nowhere. It say God made man. Somebody else made a nigga. So we need to learn to come together. It's a big world out here. It's enough room for all nationalities, all races, all different beliefs of people. America's a melting pot. Let's keep it that way. Mexicans, blacks, whites, Chinese, or it don't matter. You come to America, you should be treated nice. But we're gonna get to some more stuff that's going on in America. That's a bunch of bullshit. But this is something that here's some more history that's been debunked. It's a lot of black history that goes unnoticed because it get washed away. Now I want you to hear this here on the Glenn Beck show. Glenn Beck, and believe it or not, this is from Fox News. Glenn Beck is talking about black history that's basically been overlooked.
This is Benjamin Banneker. I think he's the most brilliant scientist in American history. This guy, unbelievable what he did. He's the guy
more so than Franklin?
I would put Franklin and Banneker almost equal. Now, Franklin did a lot of inventions. This guy one time took a pocket watch. He taught himself how to read. He taught himself science. He wrote an almanac that 10 years ahead he was able to predict to the minute solar eclipses, lunar eclipses, 10 years before they happened. I mean, by watching the motion through a telescope, unbelievable what the guy did. He once took the back off a pocket watch, saw how it worked, went home and carved a wooden clock with all the gears mainspring, and it was accurate to within 1 minute a year. A wooden clock.
That's amazing.
He's the guy who laid out Washington, D.C. He's the surveyor who did all that. He's a brilliant mathematician. Jefferson gave him...
Never knew this.
No. Jefferson gave him an example to France, said, hey, you guys in France think that blacks are inferior? Here's Benjamin Banneker.
Okay,
First,
now we're gonna pause that right there. Benjamin Banneker. Who'd ever known that he the one that made up the plans for Washington D.C. right where the president and the White House and all those great monuments that's down there. Benjamin Banneker was the one that actually designed it all. But do we know anything about that? No. We don't know nothing about that in history because that's part of history that they don't want you to know about. Like Peter Salem, it's a picture in America. It's a great picture, and it's the Battle of Bunker Hill. And then you'll see the black guy behind. I think that's George Washington. I'm almost. Matter of fact, we're gonna roll with it. George Washington standing there with a sword, and then you got a black man hiding behind him. That was actually Peter Salem. He was actually the hero of Bunker Hill. But they're not going to tell you that he was the hero of Bunker Hill. They made it look like George Washington did all that shit by himself. Prince Whipple, he fought with George Washington. You know what I'm saying? He fought right alongside with him. James Armistead, he was a double spy and told the Britain that he was spying for them. And he was telling them some bullshit, but he was telling George Washington the real shit. That's right. He was the true hero. James Armistead was the one that actually won the war. But they don't talk about that. That's another cover-up in history. But I'm going to tell you, man, they can keep covering up all they want. And I'm going to tell you, when it's all over with, they're going to end up getting the motherfucking vapors, baby. Because I'm going to tell you.
This ain't on my records. Make the music nobody beats the biz. Well, check it. Back in the days before this began, they used to try to talk to this girl named Fran. The type of female with fly Gucci wear, with big truck jewelry and extensions in her hair.
That's right. Stop changing history, man. History is what it is. You don't change the history with the dinosaurs. Whatever Tyrannosaurus Rex did is what Tyrannosaurus Rex did. Okay, well, it's the same with black people. What we did, we made history too. That's right, we invented things. We did a lot of stuff that we don't get credit for. And that's all we want is the credit for it. That's basically what we're looking for. I think we can have a beautiful world here if we learn to get along. It's hard to get rid of racism because look at our president. Our president said he's the least racist, and we know who his daddy is. So that's why he got to say he's the least racist. That's right, that's right. You hear it on the talk show, y'all. We always on some motherfucking bullshit. That's right. And sometimes bullshit will lead you to some real shit. That's right. That's right. I'm talking to town. and I'm always on some motherfucking bullshit. Coming to you live from Las Vegas, Sin City, like I say, a place where people come to get their fantasy fit fulfilled. And you just heard the talk show, y'all. Miss Debunked. That's right. So don't never say it's Irish slaves. Remember, they were code breakers. Hey, can't fool talk. That's right. They got the vapors now, y'all. They got the vapors now. The talk show, Las Vegas, talk, always on some bullshit. Peace.